Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Formula 1 2020, my team. Today we are going to be driving around the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia in Spain, and I think today is going to be shaping up to be a very, very decent race. Now if you can see just on the screen right there, you may be able to just about figure out that we're going to be having a wet race in Spain today. Now we're not starting from the headquarters, because, well, realistically I did forget to start recording at that point, but I'm going to quickly go through and do some practice sessions, make sure that we've got our resource points. I'm going to do qualifying as well, whatever else needs to be done, but yeah, rain in Spain, Spain without the S. I'm in pain just seeing that, because rain in Spain means that it's probably going to be a pretty boring race, unfortunately. I'm quite quick in the wet, but I'm not very quick around this track, so it's going to be interesting to see how it all unfolds. But anyway, I'm going to quickly go through and sort out these practice sessions. I'll get some resource points, and then I'll cut to when we start having a bit of a spending spree, and then we'll go through to qualifying. And I will see you guys on the other side, ready for the race, and hopefully it won't be too bad. Hopefully it will be an absolute blinder. In my final lap, and well, Max Verstappen has just come literally out of nowhere with a middle sector that doesn't even seem remotely possible. And it looks like he's going to take pole by 1.2 seconds. We were actually very, very close in the pack. P4 we're currently saying. I don't know if that will change as I skip through the session, which I'm going to do now. But yeah, Max Verstappen just... I have no words. I mean, Alexander Albon 2.1 seconds slower. It makes no sense, but fair play to the lad. We're going to start P4 for the Spanish Grand Prix tomorrow. It's going to be wet, but I will do my best to try and stay as far up the field as I can. Obviously, as I said before, I'm not the best at this track, but I'm decent in the wet. Hopefully, I might be able to maybe get ahead of one of the Mercedes. I don't want to fall backwards too much, but yeah, I'll see you guys for the race. Hopefully, we can make something decent come out of it. That's what I'm hoping.
Welcome along then to what promises to be another fascinating Spanish Grand Prix. A race which saw Max Verstappen win on his first ever appearance with the Red Bull team in 2016. This after the dramatic coming together of Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg on the first lap. Will we see more moments for the scrapbook here today? It's 730 metres from pole position down to a slippery turn 1 here, the first of 16 corners around this 2.89 mile racetrack. The long, wide turn 3 and the uphill right-hander of turn 9 can both be taken full throttle in the right conditions, but I doubt very much we'll be seeing any of that today. Alongside me to discuss all the action today is Anthony Davidson. Thanks for joining us, Ant, and tell me, you were down in the pit lane earlier. How do you think the track conditions are today?
Well, it's looking a bit cold out there, if I'm honest. These tyres have quite a narrow operating window in terms of the temperatures they need to extract the best grip. So with a cold track surface, it's going to be harder to keep those temperatures up, which will lead to lower grip and maybe more mistakes.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he starts from pole position. And it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, the Rainmaster, Sergio Perez, and Leclerc, Vettel, Sainz, Albon, and Lando Norris, Ricciardo, Stroll, Pierre Gasly, and Ocon, Kvyat, Giovinazzi, Mick Schumacher, and Kevin Magnussen, Russell, Grosjean, Raikkonen, and Nicholas Latifi. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
Okay then, so we are here for the Spanish Grand Prix. We're starting in P4, and I think this race could turn out possibly to be pretty interesting, but obviously at the same time it could be pretty bad. The weather graphics saying that it should be full wets, but we have been put onto intermediates, and as you can see on the race director, every single driver is on the intermediate tyres, so I'm assuming that means there's some level of grip around this track at the moment, but I'm still not 100% sure. I think this could possibly prove to be a pretty difficult race, but to be fair, we are starting in P4, so you know, there's a bit of leeway here. We might be able to get ahead of Mercedes, we might not. Hopefully we just don't drop positions. That's basically what I'm hoping for here. So then here we are then for 5 red lights. Max Verstappen is on pole. Lights out and away we go. Max Verstappen makes a decent start. It looks like Hamilton has made a pretty decent start as well, and we've actually made a beautiful start, getting no wheel spin whatsoever. We find ourselves in the middle of Hamilton and Verstappen. We dive down the outside of Hamilton, down the inside of Verstappen. Bottas makes contact with us and makes contact again, and we almost slip off. We've just about managed to get back on the power, but we've literally got no traction whatsoever. There is no grip at all. Hamilton just glides past us there. We get hit in the back by Bottas. He may have damage, he may not. I'm not 100% sure. But we seem to have just about managed to get through here unscathed. We've made up a place. We're up to P3. But I don't know how much longer that will last. Obviously, the Mercedes are very, very, very quick. I don't know if we'll be able to keep up with Hamilton. As you can see, he's already pulling away very, very quickly. And likewise from Verstappen, who's actually pulling away from Hamilton. We've got a decent amount of VRS and a decent amount of fuel, so I think we should be okay to stay ahead of Valtteri Bottas, but I think only time will tell. Okay guys, so I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. This race was very, 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 very boring, and really not a lot happened. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together a little montage of clips of me essentially pretty much almost going off the track and catching it. I feel like that might be a little bit more entertaining than just skipping through the whole entire thing. So here's a nice little compilation of what not to do when you're driving around Spain in the wet. I guess. I don't really know. Okay, now back to reality for just a moment. We come to lap 8, and there appears to be some yellow flags. Max Verstappen is out of the session, ladies and gentlemen. From P1, Max Verstappen is out of the Grand Prix. We have a virtual safety car, which is very awkward and annoying because it's impossible to keep a reasonable pace around this track. But we find ourselves in P2, people. P2. We haven't even done anything yet. We haven't made an overtake. Well, we've technically made an overtake, but it's lap 8. We haven't made an overtake or any kind of move since lap 1. I think this is luck genuinely at its like 100% finest. And moving towards the end of lap 8 as well then, we're coming in for our pit stop. Valtteri Bottas and Charles Leclerc carry on. Me, Hamilton and Perez head into the pits, as does pretty much everyone else behind. We don't need to worry about Alex Albon. I don't think he's going to be troubling us too much in this race, unless obviously something interesting happens. But basically our aim here is going to be, we need to put out as fast an outlap as pretty much possible to make sure that we can either stay ahead of Bottas or at least be close to him. And when we do come out, we come out behind no one other than Mr. Mick Schumacher. Not really the person that I wanted to find myself behind. I did want a little bit of clear air. Because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you this whole entire lap and how painfully slow he is compared to me in exactly the same machinery. It just makes no sense. I honestly don't understand it. There we go then, going into this turn. Look, he's literally right up his gearbox. I'm having to go slow to make sure that I don't crash into him. This corner, I don't like this corner at all. We make a bit of a wobble there. Literally just, it's the dirty air I think at this point. Coming around that long right-hander. I'm actually trying to like catch up to him so that I can overtake. But there's so much dirty air. Like here I could have made a dive bomb, but obviously he's our teammate. And if somehow he manages to get points, then I don't want to ruin his race. In this part here, look at this, right up his gearbox to the point where I'm literally inside his gearbox. This race so far has been just unexplainable. Mick finally peels into the pits, which does release us. I'm going to come down the straight now to see where we come out. There's Albon, there's the clerk. Where is Valtteri Bottas? 2.5 seconds ahead. It would appear that Mick Schumacher has dropped us a place, essentially. I mean, Bottas was faster than us, like generally, but I feel like we could have been a little bit closer otherwise. But anyway, yeah. We're here in P3. We're still in a podium position. It is lap 10. Yeah, I'll let you know if anything else happens. Right guys, so this is the final lap of this very, very long race. As you can see, literally just from whatever this is, the tyres are gone. They're nowhere to be seen. Obviously we are in rich mix, but their tyres have got no grip whatsoever. It's absolutely horrible to drive. As you can see though, Lewis Hamilton wins in Spain, and I think Valtteri Bottas is going to come across the line to bring in P2, some 4.5 seconds ahead. However, we do cross the line, and it is P3 at the Spanish Grand Prix. We got ourselves a podium. I must admit, it really was not the most entertaining race I've ever driven. It was literally like driving around an ice rink. It was actually horrible to drive. I did not enjoy that race whatsoever, and there wasn't a lot of action going on either. It was one of those races, unfortunately. But anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy this race. Lewis Hamilton has won this Grand Prix. Let's go and have a look and see what that does to the Drivers' Championship and the Constructors' Championship. I think Mercedes will definitely be on top. Lewis Hamilton looks very, very happy with that win. Now then, looking into how the race actually panned out. Let's have a look, shall we?
The championship leader is still sat at the top of the standings, but their rivals have made up some solid ground today. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
It's got to be Valtteri Bottas, a commanding performance that I think had the audience's eyes glued to him for the majority of the race. I know that's at odds with the official decision, but I think they deserve some recognition on a day where both of these drivers are at the top of their game.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Meanwhile, Ferrari have improved their position. A strong weekend from them as they fight their way towards the top. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Right, so then, it looks like Valtteri Bottas has somehow got the commentator's driver of the day. I'm not entirely sure how, considering Lewis Hamilton literally left him in the dust. Like, really bad. We got P3. We put in a decent couple of laps as well. So the whole time we were faster than Charles Leclerc. The gap wasn't going up by too much, but we were consistently faster than the Ferrari man. Let's see where our teammate finished up in the end. I believe... Yeah, he's finished where he started, P17. We can't really ask for much more or much less than that. It looks like he was very, very slow, actually, compared to everyone else's fastest laps. Can't believe that Max Verstappen still came out of the Grand Prix. That is what actually gave us this podium in the first place. Otherwise, it would have been a P4. Now, if we look at the standings, we can see that we are second in the Drivers' Championship. Now, I cannot quite believe that. This is absolutely... mental. I can't believe it. We're only 9 points behind Valtteri Bottas, who currently leads. Hamilton brings himself up to 3rd place with that win, and Max drops to 5th. Oh my good lord, he was ahead of us coming into this race. I think we're on level on points. So overall, I think this has been a very, very good weekend for the team at least, and for myself. Maybe not so much highlights-wise. It wasn't a very entertaining Grand Prix whatsoever, but I'll do my best to make it interesting. But anyway, I will see you guys on the other side of this.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that.
Must be happy with the result today. Yes, I'm very, very happy with the result. It all came together, the strategy, the car, and of course my driving. Happy, but I think I need to buy a new trophy cabinet. It's been a great day. Car's looking in great shape. For the next race too. I'm actually going to go with this one. We're going to try and boost our team acclaim as much as possible. Oh, here we go. Haha, aero package. Hopefully that will mean that we get our stuff in time very, very quickly. How do you think the weather affected the outcome today? It changed strategies, but the top driver still performed the best. Certainly didn't dampen my spirits. Haha, jokes. Hopefully our acclaim will go up a decent amount. Which means we'll be a lot closer to a 3rd secondary sponsor. Bit of a tongue twister, but hopefully we're a little bit closer. We should have got some resource points and some money from this race. Hopefully we'll be able to invest something. We've completely outdone Alexander Albon in the rivalry, which boosts us up to 11.6. We'll get 2,100 acclaim for winning that. We move up to acclaim level 7 as a driver, which is very, very good. Mick Schumacher halfway through 5, and our team acclaim is almost up to level 9. I believe we need to be level 10 for our 3rd sponsor. Both our sponsors are very, very happy with how we've been driving today. We've got ourselves an extra bit of cash in the bank for meeting sponsor goals and, well, essentially getting no damage on the car, really. I'll see you back in the headquarters once it is loaded. So then, here we are. Ignition system has been put in. You can see we've got warm components. We've got low cash. We've got 1.4 million in the bank. Not a whole lot really, but enough, I think, enough. Now we're going to quickly go across to our activities. I'm going to do what we can. We're going to increase our powertrain. We're going to do, well, we're definitely going to do some team building. And I think, I don't know, I kind of want this one in there, to be honest, but at the same time we need these upgrades. We really need these upgrades. This would improve our driver a little bit, but I'm actually gonna go with myself, because I think this will benefit us a little bit more, because obviously we're not gonna have Mick Schumacher forever. And there's no point. I don't know. Does it add? Does it add it fully, like for the whole time? I don't really know. Right, we're just going to put it on there anyway. And we're going to hope that it does a little something for our driver Mick Schumacher. And we're going to advance through to the Monaco Grand Prix. We've got some resource points. Let's see if we can spend any. None in there. Definitely none there. We can get an engine upgrade, but we're going durability, because as you've seen in the overview menu, we have got very, very worn components. Our ICE is pretty much on its way out. Our MGU-H is almost out. Our turbocharger's got high wear. Everything's quite high wear, apart from the energy store, which I'm actually quite happy with. And I think we are going to be changing. We're going to be changing parts, ready for the next Grand Prix, for the bits that we need to at least. Just so that we can get a good qualifying lap in more than anything. Because I really don't think that Monaco is going to be the funnest race to drive, much like Spain. Hopefully we get some safety cars though, and it'll be very, very fun. But we're going to advance through here. We've got our power equipment upgrade, which I'm very, very, very happy about. The till building exercise is in. Our downforce upgrade has come through, which is music to my eyes. Thank you very much. Oh, look at this, look at this. We've got spec 1 on everything. Quickly go into driver perks. I want to do this, and do this, and you know what, I think we'll do this one as well. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to try and make sure that we can get the best negotiation stuff going. We want to make sure that our engine wear is reduced, and if any boosts that we can get are going to help us in the long run, I think. Anyway guys, that is going to be it for today's episode at Spain. I hope you guys did enjoy. I do apologise for a pretty boring race. There wasn't too much I could do about it. Obviously it was wet and it was basically like an ice rink out there. And to be honest, there wasn't a whole lot of overtaking opportunity. And we were basically stuck between Valtteri Bottas and Leclerc for the whole race. After the pit stop, so yeah, I do apologise for that. But anyway, next episode will be Circuit de Monaco. I'm very, very excited for that race. Hopefully we'll be able to pull off some overtakes around that street circuit, and hopefully our qualifying will be able to get us up to a decent position. Because obviously if we do get up into a decent position, it means more chance of getting good points. I don't know how fast we're going to be around the track, because our downforce and chassis are very much nowhere near everyone else on the grid. But we can hope. We can certainly hope. But anyway, I will see you guys in the next episode. Like if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you're new around here. And put the notification bell on. I will see you guys in the next episode in a bit. Goodbye.